Hello everybody, welcome to DRL TV. I'm your host James Pandolf. Tonight is the Dynasty Racing League Truck Series here at Chicagoland Speedway for 100 laps on this 1.5 mile track. Currently underway with qualifying, just under 4 minutes remaining. Steven Sims currently on the pole, still got plenty of time left to qualify, and we'll see if anybody is going to be able to bump him off. He ran a 31.029 his first lap. We'll see if he'll be able to improve on this second one. Coming off of turn 4, he's going to duck down onto the apron to get as quick a time as possible. And he does improve to a sub 30.922 second lap time. And I believe Ben Izenga has finally joined me in the booth. Is that correct?
Yep, I made it.
How you doing, Ben? You ready for a good race tonight?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how these trucks do at Chicagoland here tonight. I know these trucks drive pretty uh, forgiving here, so I'm excited to see a lot of really hard racing and a lot of really great laps.
Absolutely, as we have hit the halfway mark in the qualifying session. Gonna go on board with the 82 of Jared Gordon. Now, the one thing that is unique about Chicagoland is the back straightaway. It's not exactly straight. There's a bit of a curve to it, so you gotta be careful when you're going along that wall that you're not keeping your steering wheel all the way straight, because you'll end up hitting it by the end of the straightaway entering turn 3. 31.216 for Jared Gordon, good enough for 19th. Now, I did not do any official races here at Chicagoland, but I have been told that these drivers are able to go flat out for the first few laps in opening runs. Is that correct, Ben? I think Ben Ising is still settling in, so we'll get back to him in a short minute as Jared Gordon moving up to 13th. A few more drivers have yet to post a lap time. Here comes David Wright to the start-finish line. At the 1 minute remaining mark, his first lap time is a 31.064, good enough for 16th. Steven Sims still on top. No one quite able to beat his lap time. At the line, David Wright improves up to third place, the 30.948. One driver has yet to set his time as he's just now crossing. That is Cody Gasky. He'll be starting 32nd tonight's race. 32 trucks will be taking the green flag as the qualifying timer will be running down less than 10 seconds. And that'll mean Steven Sims will be your pole sitter. We'll see if we can pull him in for a quick interview. Here he is. Hey, Steven Sims, this is the broadcast booth. You have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you got yourself another pole this season. Alongside you is Austin Collins, who has been just as fast as you the last few races. going into this race, 100 laps, what are you looking forward to, and what is going to be the key to victory?
Not running your tires off. I mean, it's really easy to burn up a right front. So, I mean, if you don't go too hard, keep the right front under you, you should be fine.
We have 32 trucks starting tonight, and we saw at Las Vegas drivers that come down onto that apron. Some guys expect it to happen, and that'll cause collisions through the front straightaway. Do you expect to see some of that again tonight?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just don't know when somebody turns down to apex the tri-oval or how high they're going to stay up. And having been in those incidents myself, they're not fun. I mean, you really don't know where the person below you is going to go. So you just have to guess and hope you're right.
Alrighty, Steven. Well, we're going to be rolling here, so we're going to let you go. Good luck tonight, and hopefully we'll talk to you at the end.
Yeah, me too. Have a good broadcast.
Thank you. Good luck. We have Steven Sims as we run down the starting order. Richard Springer starting alongside him. Brent Kincott in 6th. A great qualifying effort for that Ford truck. Rounding out the top 10 is Daniel Holloway and Jim Westerfield. Corey Sherman, David Lindahl make up the 11th and 12th positions. Adam Faree starting all the way back in 13th alongside him, Patrick Cowgill. Craig Meyer, 15th. Jared Gordon, we saw him qualifying earlier, will start 16th. Adam Breed in 17th. Terrence Ney starting all the way back in 18th. Keep an eye out on him as this race progresses. Dakota Wilkins, last week's winner, starting all the way back in 22nd. Dominic Mangione and Sidarius Jackson round out 23rd and 24th. Dustin Ike at 25th. Doug Lockrow 26th. As the pace car is getting ready to duck off, we're about to go racing here at Chicagoland. There goes Steven Sims, a great restart there by that 45 truck. Off to a 3-truck gap over Austin Collins as they head down into turn number 1. Nose to tail for second, David Wright, Adam Purcell, and Brent Kincott as we have a caution already. Trying to find out who that is on. I see Craig Meyer with some damage, so we'll take a look at his replay.
Yeah, that looks like the corner a little bit slower than everyone else. And just got run into the back of. I'm not sure if that.
Oh, it looks like the 29 misshifted and he actually blew up his engine.
Oh, is that what that was? Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if we can take another look at that. Gonna go on board with Adam Faree. Yeah, right there, you heard the pop.
Looks like he struggled to get into the slipped it in. No.
Gonna go
That's really
watch it
unfortunate.
from the view
A lot
of
of special
Cody
objects or
Barber.
whatever.
Puff of smoke, 25.01, nowhere to go. 28 as well, nowhere to go. Big damage to the 25. And to the 85 of Sidarius Jackson, taking a closer look. You see that right rear corner heavily damaged. So another first lap incident this season for these guys in the Truck Series. As pace car lights are off, we're going to be going racing once again. Several drivers involved in that incident. 6
And
drivers.
James, I know
Oh, go on, Ben.
I was a little late missing qualifying coming into the session, but we see a lot of really fast trucks. Cody Barber won the name. He's really far back in the field. I heard you say Dakota Wilkins' name was pretty far back, and you're listing the order off. Karen Sine was pretty far back there. These are really fast trucks that are pretty far back in this field, so I'm interested to see how that'll play in. Maybe we have some guys that we wouldn't really expect to be in the top 10 this early in the race that are up here, so we'll see how that plays out. I'm not really sure how that's going to go with how these trucks drive on cold tires. They're pretty forgiving. They're pretty easy to run, so
Going to have restart attempt number 2. Pace car ducking off to pit lane. Steven Sims once again will lead Austin Collins to the line. Another fabulous restart for that 45 truck. Adam Bassell looking to the outside of the 98, try to make something happen. David Wright has his nose to his inside. He'll be able to possibly take third place coming to the backstretch. So far so good, everybody able to clear turns 1 and 2 as they head down 2, 3, and 4. David Wright clears the 58, so he's in sole possession of third place. And Steven Sims will lead the first green flag lap here at Chicagoland.
Adam Purcell's going to take advantage of that really wide A back to the bottom of David Wright.
Oh, he's going to push him off the track a little bit.
David Wright's going to clear him off turn 2, maintain that third position. Adam Purcell's going to fall. Richard Springer looks like he has a little bit of trouble entering turn 3, loses that spot to Ronnie Outlaw. As he drops to the outside of Jarrett Rogers.
And you see currently in 5th place, that 4 truck Brent Kincott. Showing a lot of speed here tonight, started in 6th, he was faster in practice as well. Craig Meyer has come back down pit lane.
And it looks like Austin Collins is going to look to the inside of Steven Sims for the first position. He's going to take it. And he proceeds to drive away a couple truck lengths through turn 1 and 2 now the backstretch.
Looking back, you see the 9 of Jarrett Rogers, winner a couple weeks ago, to the inside of the 51. Going to try to take 6th away from Ronnie Outlaw. Looks like he should be able to do it, and right behind them, David Lindahl, Jim Westerfield battling for that 9th position.
Looks like David Wright got in the wall off turn 4. He's going to lose a couple spots. Adam Purcell and Brent Kincott going to buy him, and now Jarrett Rogers looking to the inside. We're going to bring Ronnie Outlaw with him. David Wright's going to drop all the way back to, looks like, the 7th position.
Springer able to clear the 42. Lindahl still having trouble getting around that 35 as Westfield, using that high side momentum, is able to clear him.
Westfield looks to pass David Wright. So they go 3 wide into turn 1. David looks at all things. Westfield's going to complete that pass on the backstretch. David Wright continues to follow right through this field.
Yeah, see if we can take a closer look at that damage. It is a lot of damage on that right front. Definitely hurting his aerodynamics. Daniel Holloway to the inside of David Lindahl. That'll be for the 9th position. Back up front, Austin Collins about 3/4 of a second lead to Steven Sims, who's in 2nd. And then it's about the same distance back, and you'll find 3rd place Adam Purcell.
Adam Purcell, one of these guys who shows speed a lot in the last few races. He's just found trouble really early. And back in Atlanta, he found trouble in the first, I think it was 10 or 20 laps of that race. Bristol, same. Nice to see him running up front trouble-free so far, 15 laps into this.
Ronnie Outlaw able to get back around Jarrett Rogers to take 5th place away. Taking a look back at Dakota Wilkins, started 22nd, currently 15th, going to be 14th if he's able to complete the pass on David Wright. Looks like he'll be able to, might even get 13th away from Dustin Eichert, who goes way up the track in turns 3.
Aaron Sinay part of that pack too.
Yeah, Sinay in that 32 truck, right behind the 96 of David Warborn Jr. Little wiggle there, everyone able to keep it straight.
Austin Collins has opened up a 1.5 second lead over Steven Sims. Make that 1.7 seconds.
So we see just how big of a lead that really is. Taking a look in the rear chase camera view.
Richard Springer looking the inside of Ronnie Outlaw for that 5th position. He's going to make that pass.
Springer, a guy who's able to really show some patience early in a race, let the tires wear out, and then that's when he strikes and he'll make his move up to the front.
Daniel Holloway looking to the inside Jarrett Rogers. Looks like he's going to be able to stay even with him off turn 4. Ahead of them, Richard Springer looking at the bottom of Brent Kingcott, or take that 4th position from him.
Holloway gonna clear the 9, move him up to position. Now he looks to pass Ronnie Outlaw.
Garrett Rogers following through. So he looks to the inside of 51 now.
Someone slow on the apron, that's the 10 of Brad Posner, who's multiple laps down and a wreck in front. Through the grass go several drivers, no caution yet. Have to see race.
Garrett Rogers backwards in the grass. Brent King caught driving through the grass. There's a caution as Garrett Rogers spins it back around. It gets back going on the racetrack.
See if we can see what exactly happened.
That's a tight spot on the racetrack. It looks like Brent Kingcott just got a little bit tight off that corner and grabbed the wall a little. It didn't grab the wall, kept it off the wall, but Daniel Holloway is kind of pretty fast, and Garrett Rogers gets collected as well.
We're going through turns 3. On board with Daniel Holloway, you see Brent Kingcott riding up the wall coming off the turn, and just the momentum. 26 got into the side of the 4 and the 9 had nowhere to go behind him. Pit road will be open for these drivers. Quarter of the way complete. Only the second caution of the night. The first caution happening on the very first lap when Adam Free misshifted and his engine expired, causing a few cars to end up with severe damage.
Richard Springer missing his pit box that time.
Seeing the race off pit road, it's going to be close. Oh, that was very close. I think Steven Sims might have had him by a nose. And it looks like he did, as he's ahead of him.
And the number 10 truck, Rod Fosnaugh, getting a wave around that time. That's going to put him 10 laps down in the 27th position. He was a recipient of that first caution.
Taking a look through the field, we see that Dakota Wilkins, who started 22nd, he's currently just outside the top 10 and 11th.
Richard Springer going to bring it back down pit road after getting his lap led, missing his box the first. That's going to put Steven Sims into the first position. Dakota Wilkins back there in 11th. Started 22nd. Already up 11 spots in the first 28 laps of this.
Will actually be 10th now because Richard Springer had pitted, so inside the top 10, 27 laps into this race.
Fantastic movement for him.
It's going to be fun to watch the 21 truck on this restart as he's going to have to navigate from way back in the pack.
Yeah, he's got some work to do to get up to the front. We need a few more laps this race. This field comes through 3 and 4, getting ready to go green. Steven Sims bringing them to the green flag alongside Austin Collins. This pace car is going to pull off. Steven Sim takes green flag. Adam Purcell looks to the inside of Austin Collins for the second position.
Right behind them, Ronnie Outlaw with head full of steam. He's going to try to get to the inside of the 98. Looks like he will.
Steven Sims with some
3 wide
trouble
for the
through 1
lead.
and 2.
3 going to be 4 trucks possibly going to get around that 45 after his bobble on turn 2. That moves the 58 to the lead. Ronnie Outlaw going to try to take second place from the 98 of Austin Collins.
Looks to me like Steven Sims just grabbed the apron a little bit in turn 2. See, tightly looks to the bottom of Austin Collins for third position.
Ronnie Outlaw going for the lead. Steven Sims rebounding. He's going to get third back from the 98 of Austin Collins. And Ronnie Outlaw will lead this lap.
Adam Purcell dropping into second place. David Lindahl already up to 5th.
Right behind him, Corey Sherman, who started back in the, on the beginning of this race, looking to crack the top 5.
Daniel Hall on the outside of him. Now Jim Westfield looking at the bottom of Daniel. Austin Collins looks clear. Steven Sims down the front.
And he does for the meantime, so the top 6 drivers have single filed out. Jim Westerfield trying to pass Daniel Holloway. That would be for the 7th position. Dakota Wilkins alongside him in 9th.
Dakota Wilkins going to drop out. Fall back in line. It's the top 10 of this field. Single file. Further back, we see Richard Springer making quick work of the back half. As he gets by Brent Kingcott, sets the sights on David Wright. The 20th position. David Lindahl catching the apron off turn 2 that time. Corey Sherman looked at the inside of him down the back.
Austin Collins tries to close in on our leader, Ronnie Outlaw. Less than 0.2 of a second is the gap. see some blinking going on with the 58 of Adam Purcell. You're going to have to keep an eye on that.
Austin Collins continues to close in. Gets to the back bumper on the outlaw. Nowhere to go though. He looks to the bottom, all the way down to the bottom side of the apron. He's going to get to the inside into turn 1. No progress on the backstretch. He's going to fall back in line turn 3 and 4. Steven Sims looking to the inside of Adam Purcell for 3rd now. Adam Purcell looking for a crossover down the backstretch off turn.
Looks like his nose will be there.
And ahead of them, Austin Collins looking to the inside, Ronnie Outlaw.
For the lead.
All the way down at the bottom of the apron. He's going to clear Ronnie Outlaw across the line.
Possible crossover by the 51. Looks like he's going to try it. He might not be able to get to his inside coming off the backstretch. And Collins clears him.
Corey Sherman looking at the inside of Steven Sims now. He's not going to make it happen this time. Oh, he'll keep his spot down the front stretch into turn 1. And he drops back. Fall back in line behind that 45 truck.
Almost 3 wide as Adam Purcell has trouble. It is 3 wide. Steven Sims, Adam Purcell, Ronnie Outlaw. This is the battle for 2nd.
Ronnie Outlaw is going to back off. Adam Purcell still at the outside of Steven Sims. Corey Sherman looks to get a piece of the action. Looks to the inside of Ronnie Outlaw. Thinks better of it. Now Steven Sims clears Ronnie Outlaw. Corey Sherman to the bottom of the 51.
While all this is going on, Austin Collins is just running away with their 2.5 now is his lead.
Corey Sherman clears Ronnie Outlaw. That 5th position, I think. 4th position. Further back, Dakota Wilkins, Patrick Cowgill racing side by side for the last couple of Karen Sine there as well on the bottom at 30s.
Battle back up front has settled down for the moment.
David Lindahl tries to make a move to the inside of Ronnie Outlaw, now off turn 2. He's going to make it to the quarter panel. Try to keep a spot down the backstretch. Ronnie Outlaw with a good run down the front stretch off turn 4. Going to maintain the outside of David Lind. It's not going to be enough as Lindahl clears him down the backstretch. Ronnie Outlaw drops into the 6th position.
Oh, they almost touch. That opens the door for Holloway.
Patrick Cowgill looking into this group on the outside of Jim Westerfield. Ronnie Outlaw to the bottom of Holloway. Holloway almost gets into the back of Ronnie Outlaw in turn 2. Backs off. Able to get to the inside of that 51 truck down the backstretch. Sorry about that. And up in the lead, Adam Purcell and Steven Sims have hunted down Austin Collins, cutting his lead over second place down to about a half second.
Coming up on the halfway point. Beginning of lap number 50, Austin Collins leads. Adam Purcell second, Steven Sims is third. Fourth place, you have the 88 of David Lindahl. He's having himself quite a run, and Corey Sherman rounds out the top 5.
And the rest of this top 10 continues to race, as Ronnie Outlaw seems to be in a 2-wide battle basically his whole green flag run here. Scott Griswold makes a pass on the bottom. Jim Westerfield, the next in line to pass Ronnie Outlaw. So he works on that pass. There's Richard Springer, up to 13th position. Started from the back on that last restart. Adam Purcell looking to the inside of Austin Collins for the lead.
Looks like he'll take it. Austin Collins has to check up a little bit so he doesn't run into the back of him. Steven Sims might have a run going down in turn 3, might be able to pass Purcell. Looks like he will.
Purcell's going to try to manufacture a run down the front stretch, but it looks like he's not going to make it happen. Steven Sims goes all the way to the bottom of the track. Adam Purcell falls back into the second position.
Lap chuck of Rod Bosnar right in front of them. He's going to stay high and let these 3 get around. Oh, it looks like the 10 actually might have blown up. I saw a puff of smoke coming out. As he's down onto the apron, this might bring out a caution if he's not able to make it all the way around the track.
Rod Fosnauer rolls around the apron. Looks like he's gonna least be able to keep it on the 8.
I don't think he's going to make it around. This is going to really change how this race plays out if caution comes out.
Austin Collins looking to the inside of Adam Purcell for the third, or for the second position. He's going to make it happen. Adam Purcell falling into third. Looks like Rod Foss now is going to find a place to stop on the access road. Not going to bring it. He's going to tow that 10 truck back to pit road, and it looks like his night's going to be pretty well up. David Lindahl starts to close in on these top 3. Finding himself 2.3 seconds back of Steven Sims, the leader. The rest of this top 15 has started to calm down a little bit. We have Richard Springer making a pass on Dakota Wilkins. Break into the top 10.
I was not able to make it to the pit, so we stay green.
Dakota Wilkins under fire from Scott Griswold now. So he's going to lose that 11th position.
Yeah, I haven't really said much about the 93 Scott Griswold. He's having himself quite a run as he's right outside that top 10, started all the way back in 31st position. As that battle continues on between the 44 and the 98, or the 93, excuse me. Richard Springer, Daniel Holloway battling out for the 9th position.
Looks like Holloway is going to let him go. Richard Springer taking over that 9th position.
Oh, wiggle there by Calgo. Richard Springer gets into him. A lot of damage to the back of that 31 truck as he's coming down the pit lane. Take a closer look. You see that big impact there on the back end of that 31 truck. That's going to really affect his truck the remainder of this race. Take a closer look at Richard Springer. You can see quite a bit of damage to his left front. As he's now coming down the pit 1 lap later. Focused on our race leader, Steven Sims. Green flag pit stops heavily underway. Should be the only pit stop needed the rest of the race as we're closing in on 30 laps to go. Leaders down pit, Steven Sims. That makes Corey Sherman the new race leader as he's staying out another lap. As you see the difference the new and the old tires make as David Wilborn Jr. was able to just fly by Corey Sherman, who's on those 44 lap old set of tires.
Total Wilkins down pit road.
44 truck making his green flag pit stop and he's off and away.
Corey Sherman down pit road as well.
Yeah, that's race leader Corey Sherman.
Along with Doug Lockrow. Which leaves Dustin Jones, one of the only trucks to still be on the racetrack. He's going to pick up the race lead.
Yeah, Dustin Jones and the 27 of Cody Gasky, the only 2 drivers yet to pit. Looks like Dustin Jones will stay out 1 more lap.
Cody Gasky bringing it down this time.
You can just see all these drivers flying by Dustin Jones through turns 1 and 2, getting their laps back. Cody Gasky did complete his service, so that leaves the 39 as the only truck yet to pit.
And Adam Purcell passing Steven Sims for the second position. They're 20 seconds back from the leader, and they will pick up the race lead once Dustin Jones brings it down pit. David Lindahl is going to drop into third. Austin Collins must have had some trouble on that stop. He lost a few positions. He finds himself about 3 seconds back from our future race leader. Dustin Jones bringing it down pit road this time. So that'll pass the race lead off to Adam Purcell. Finish out this pit cycle. Steven Sims continues to put Adam Purcell under fire. Looks to the inside of that 58 truck, down the backstretch, and to turn through. He's going to complete that pass pretty easily. There's Dustin Jones coming out of the pits just in front of the leaders, so that's going to drop him one of the first cars a lap down with a brand new. There's Dustin Jones passing our race leader Steven Sims to get his lap back. He will be 18th position. It's the last car in the lead lap. Steven Sims with about a 1 second gap back to Adam Purcell. David Lindahl third, Austin Collins fourth, Jim Westfield fifth.
"20 laps to go in this one. It's been a heck of a race. Steven Sims out front. As you saw Dustin Jones get around him to get one of his laps back.
We see how much pit cycles really gap this field out. Steven Sims back to Daniel Holloway in 6th place. It's a full 7.5. Steven Sims continues to stretch his gap. He passes David Wilborn Jr. put that 96 truck another lap down. Back in 11th position, Dakota Wilkins looking to the outside of Patrick Cowgill. Cowgill with a lot of damage on the right rear. Contact with Richard Springer at the beginning of that pit. Dakota Wilkins gonna make quick work of him. Drop himself back into the 10th position.
These laps are winding down. Everyone pretty spread out for the most part, not a whole lot of battles going on track.
Steven Sims catches the lap car of the 9 truck of Jared. That truck's 60 laps down in 28th. Looking to pick up a couple more spots from Cody Barber and Rod Fosnot. 56 and 47 laps down respectively. Adam Purcell begins to close the gap on Steven Sims, got it down to 6/10 now. About half of what Steven Sims had opened it up to at 1.2 seconds. Steven Sims puts the 82 truck Jared Gordon a lap down.
Focusing in on our leader, Steven Sims, as he's winding down the laps. Adam Purcell less than a second now behind him. This could be a great last lap pass if Adam Purcell is able to catch him at the rate that he's going.
We've seen the last couple laps, Steven Sims starts to stretch that lead out again, little by little. He gets by the lap truck, the 83 truck of William Wingfield, put him 2 laps down. Wingfield back in the 27th position.
Going to be 5 laps to go for the 45 of Steven Sims at the start-finish line. A caution here would change everything, as Adam Purcell is able to get around Wingfield.
And that gap between first and second hovering right around the 9/10. Not much change in the last couple laps. It looks like Adam Purcell's not going to have anything for Steven Sims, as that gap begins to grow exponentially over the last couple laps, now 1.2 seconds. Steven Sims doing a great job keeping his tires cold and keeping his truck clean and off the wall throughout this race. He gets to 2 to go that time.
And Purcell has fallen off, so it looks like this is in the bag unless a caution happens within the next half lap.
White flag lap, Steven Sims through 1 and 2. Nearly a perfect race. Keeping everything together. Great green flag pit stop.
One more times through 3 and 4, coming to claim his victory. Steven Sims is your race winner.
Adam Purcell going to bring it home second. All the way back, David Lindahl, 5 seconds behind Steven Sims. Third. Austin Collins and Jim Westfield going to finish out your top 5.
This is Steven Sims' first win of the 2020 season. He's locked himself into the playoffs.
Couldn't have asked for a better race from Steven Sims. Executed everything excellently. well-deserved win for that 45 truck.
And a phenomenal finish for David Lindahl, earning himself a podium finish. We'll see if we can pull in Steven Sims. Hey, Steven Sims, this is the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, almost a flawless race. Most might say perfect. Started on the pole, coming home with the victory, your first win of the 2020 season. Walk us through your race.
Well, I had a pretty good qualifying spot, got the pole, and then I just couldn't really get away and let, I think it was Austin Collins, got away a little bit. And then had a little trouble on the restart, got knocked back, but then had good long run speed that really helped me tonight. And then I was just able to bring it home.
So this win should lock you into the playoffs for the remaining of the season. You won't really have to worry about that monkey on your back. So going forward, sorry, my phone just went off. Going forward, what is your new plan of attack now that you know that your playoff hopes are locked?
I can do a lot of things. It allows me to, Talladega in a couple weeks, I can go for the win instead of having a points race, and it allows me to do a bunch of alternate strategy that I can do now that I don't have to worry about points racing anymore. Just go for wins.
Ben, do you have anything for Steven Sims?
Yeah, just a really good race. I was just saying before we got you into the booth, you executed everything perfectly. You had a great green flag pit stop and a great pit stop under caution there earlier in the race, and just ran really well. Kept your truck clean, kept your tires on, and yeah, good job.
Yeah, thank you. Shout out my teammates, Foznov and King Cott, and everybody watching at home. Hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, unfortunately, both your teammates had ended up in some sort of incident tonight. We know Brent Kinkar was inside the top 5 early on in this race.
Yeah, it's a shame, but they'll get it figured out and both be in the playoffs by the end of the year.
Alrighty, Steven, congrats on your win. Go out and celebrate, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. We're off next week.
Yeah, thank you guys.
That was Steven Sims, your race winner. Let's see if we can pull in second place. Adam Purcell. Great finish for him tonight.
Yeah,
Hey, Adam Purcell, this is the broadcast booth. You have a copy?
I do.
Well, coming home in the runner-up position, started 4th tonight. Had a fast truck all night long. What more would you have needed to come home with the win?
Well, after finishing like that first stint from about lap 30 to about lap 65, 66 when I pitted, I thought I was faster on the longer run with Steven, but unfortunately I ended up burning up my tires a little too early in the last run, and allowed him to get away too much. And by the time I was able to reel him in just a little bit, he saved enough tires and he just pulled away from me.
If a late race caution had come out, do you think you would have had something to get around the 45 truck?
That's a tough one, because I think I'd actually pit if there was a caution. Even though I was in second, I think I'd pit, at least try 2 tires to at least keep the track position and go after there's no tires if anyone stayed out.
Absolutely. Ben, do you have anything for Adam?
Yeah, I mean, we saw you and Steven Sims really close in practice, really close in qualifying, so I'm sure you expected that you guys to be running pretty close together, but I mean, we saw in practice you were kind of far back in the board. I mean, a couple spots back. Did you expect that you'd be running this well tonight?
I can tell you for sure, I did not expect that at all. I can tell you, I ran a total of 3 laps at this track this whole week. Never been to this track before in my life, because last year I was on vacation, missed this race last year. This year, I go to do one C-fixed race this week, and I get wrecked on lap 3. So I did not expect that at all, coming into this at all, and I was so dumbfounded of how I was able do this well at the beginning, because in practice I just focused on the long run, hoping that it would help me. Turns out it didn't, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean we've all been there, not getting a lot of practice. It's fantastic that it turned out so well for you, though. You ran a really good race, even though you didn't pull off the win that you wanted. So, good job. And
Do you have any shout outs you'd like to give out?
Probably to my parents, who've always been supportive of racing for me. Right now, we're thinking about actually doing some racing in real life with me, but hopefully that'll happen.
Absolutely. Well, good luck in that. Go out and celebrate your top 2 finish tonight, and we'll see you back on the track.
You guys have a good night. Thanks for doing the broadcast every week. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. And that was second place finisher Adam Purcell. Let's see if we can pull in our final interviewee, David Lindahl, in the 88 truck. Hey David, this is the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, coming home third tonight, a heck of a performance. Started about mid-pack in 12th. This is your second top 5 finish of the season. Walk us through your night.
It was, I don't even know what to say. It was a fun race. It went smooth. No real action around my part. It was fun all the way.
Well, the last stint we had green flag pit stops. Do you think if there was a caution, do you think you would have had something to get around Steven Sims and Adam Purcell?
No, they were a lot faster on new tires. I'm actually really glad the caution didn't come out, because there were a couple cars that were behind me that were faster than me on new tires. I just seemed to gain an advantage once tires broke in a little bit.
Ben, do you have anything for Mr. Lindahl?
let me just say, I was so excited to watch you come away with a podium, because looking at the board here, you weren't super fast in practice, weren't super fast in qualifying, started 12th, and even though you're so far back from Steven and Adam at the end there, you did a great job just keeping your truck together and getting through everyone, and you basically drove from the back half of the field all the way up, so you did a really, really good job here tonight, and I'm really excited to see you finish so well.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm super excited as well. I'm actually surprised I ran so well. I struggled in official races this week and didn't think I was fast in practice and qualifying, but I just tried to keep it consistent, and it turned out.
All right, well, before we let you go, David, do you have any shout-outs you'd like to give out?
Yeah. I want to be a little cheesy and shout out my mom and dad. I know they're watching on the stream. And I want to thank you and everybody else that runs Dynasty Racing League. This is the funnest group of people that I race with, and I enjoy it week in and week.
Well, we're glad to have you, David, and looking forward to seeing what you can do throughout the rest of the season, and hopefully get that first win of yours.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
As we take a look at our unofficial results, your race winner tonight, Steven Sims. Coming home in the second position, Adam Purcell. Third is Dave Lindahl. Fourth, Austin Collins. Jim Westfield rounds out the top 5. Corey Sherman coming home 6th in the 6 truck. Daniel Holloway 7th. Terrence Ney 8th. Scott Griswold 9th. And Dustin Eichert rounds out the top 10. 11th belongs to Dakota Wilkins. David Wright 12th. Doug Lockrow 13th. A great run for him. Ronnie Outlaw 14th. 15th goes to Richard Springer. Dustin Jones 16th. Patrick Cowgill 1 lap down in 17th. Cody Gatsky 18th. 19th Jared Gordon. Andrew York rounds out the top 20. 21st goes to Dominic Mangione. William Wingfield 2 laps down in 22nd. David Wellborn Jr. 23rd. Ted Emmenheiser 3 laps down in 24th. Brent Kincott, mentioned him earlier, 14 laps down in 25th. 26th goes to Cody Barber, 57 laps down. 27th, Rod Fosner, 61 laps down. Jarrett Rogers caught up in that second caution, 61 laps down, comes home 28th. Sidarius Jackson, 77 laps down, 29th. Craig Meyer rounding out top 30, 93 laps down. 31st goes to Adam Breeden, 99 laps down. And then Adam Ferrari, who had that first lap engine expiring, 100 laps down in 32nd position. It's very unfortunate, that first lap incident involving several of those drivers. Taking a look at the point standings, this was entering tonight's race. Dakota Wilkins was your points leader with 1 win on the season. Jarrett Rogers right behind him with a win. Going down the 8th place, you have Richard Springer, who has 3 wins on the season, and Corey Sherman 9th in the points with 1 win. And now you can add Steven Sims to the list of race winners this season. The next broadcast on DRL TV will be next week at Rockingham Speedway. That is Monday, April 20th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for 175 laps on the 1 mile bumpy racetrack. The next race for the Dynasty Racing League Truck Series will be the Richmond 150. That is Tuesday, April 21st at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for 150 laps on that 3/4 mile racetrack. Thank you to everybody that makes Dynasty Racing League possible. James Pandoff, owner, financial, and marketing. Thank you to the graphics and technical team of Martin Wenzel and Jordan Gonzalez. Thank you to the broadcasters, David Warburn Jr., James Pandoff. Thank you, Ben Izenga, for joining me during the Truck Series broadcast. It's a pleasure having you. Thank you to all the special guests we've had as of late on the broadcast. Taylor Butch Benjamin, Mike Springer, Bill Edwards, to name a few. Thank you to the race controllers, James Fandoff, Dakota Wilkins, Taylor Butch Benjamin, and Mike Springer, who's been helping with the Truck Series race controlling. Thank you to all the admins, James Fandoff, Gaddy Buckner, Martin Wenzel, and David Warburn Jr. Well, Ben, this was a heck of a race. Only a couple cautions and green flag pit stops definitely played a factor in the outcome for several of these drivers. What are your final thoughts on tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't disappointed. I said when I got here, which was a little late, I will say, it was going to be a great race. It was going to be a lot of fun to watch, and it was going to be a lot of fun to race, I'm sure. Yeah, we saw a lot of really, really close racing up inside that top 15 before those pit stops. And then after the pit stops, it quieted down a little bit, but we saw kind of the cream rise to the top. Steven Sims pulled out the win here. Adam Purcell behind him, and David Lindahl. It was really fast all night. Coming home with third, doing a great job throughout this race. So I'm not disappointed by what I saw. It was a really, really good one to watch. And yeah, I'm really excited for these guys who got their top threes because they all deserved it.
Absolutely. It was a heck of a race, and glad to see some of those guys who generally aren't up in the front finish up in front. It's a great sign of improvement for those drivers, and this race for the playoffs is going to get tighter and tighter the more different winners we have. And I had accidentally said that we were off next week for the Truck Series, but that is not the case. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week on Tuesday for the Richmond 150. Thank you guys for tuning in, and have a great night.